Welcome back, moms. We're in for day 2 of a full body strength and stretch. Before we get started, let's just check in on our space, making sure we've got about anywhere between 3 to 10 feet around you, depending on if you want to travel these moves. Nice sturdy floor, nothing around us that we might knock around, and a nice full bottle of water for whenever you need. Remember, if you ever feel like you need to take a break, feel free to pause this and come right back. All right, so let's just get right into it, reaching right on up, lacing those fingers together, bringing them right above our head. Exhale, drop it down. One more time, let's reach right on up. And on the exhale, dropping things down. One last time, let's reach right on up. And on the exhale, let's take it to the left, stretching out those lat muscles. Bring yourselves back to center. Once more, let's head to the right. Leaning over, feeling that open up right in our armpits along our ribs, those latissimus dorsi muscles. Bring yourselves back to center. And if you are able, let's do a very gentle forward bend as far as your body will allow. And we want to be very careful and make sure that we're not locking out those knees. We've got that soft, gentle bend. And with every breath, see if we can fall a little bit deeper. Alrighty, on our next inhale, very slowly, very gently bring yourself back up. And then we're going to come down to our knees, bringing that left foot forward, leaning forward, pressing through those hips. Hands out in front of us. And let's open up towards the right, world's greatest stretch. Remembering we're not bouncing and we're not causing ourselves any pain. On the next inhale, let's bring that hand down, switching sides. Right foot goes forward, placing those hands on either side. And then we're going to go ahead and open up to the left as far as our bodies will allow. World's greatest stretch, feeling that stretch down those glutes, across our shoulders. Dropping that hand down, bringing those knees out behind us. Hands are going to come flat right in front of us. Let's work on those transverse abdominals with our cat-cows. So bringing baby up and in, arching that spine towards the ceiling. And then we're going to let it go, drop it down. It does not need to be super dramatic. It's more just practicing that bracing movement of our transverse abdominis. All right, one more time. Tucking baby up and in, bracing those abs like we've got a string from pelvic bone to pelvic bone, and we're pulling the middle of it up and in. Exhale, drop it down. One more time. Let's bring ourselves right up. Belly button comes up and in. Exhale, drop it down. Now one last thing on the floor here. We're going to drop our booties to our feet. Hands are going to come out in front of us. Drop that head down as far as you can for child's pose. I love this stretch. It's really great to feel that opening up in our backs. Alrighty, very gently. Let's bring ourselves back up to our knees and then to standing. And one last little stretch. We're going ahead and get things moving very gently by opening up those hips. So right leg comes up, out and down. Same on the other side. Almost like we're treading water, that big egg beater motion. Opening them up. You might feel little creaks here. And let's go ahead, switching directions. Now we're closing them off. Knees come up, in, down. This is a great one to travel around your space if you're able. Taking it 5 paces out, 5 paces back in. All right, 3 more. All right, so that's it for our warm-ups. Let's grab that water and let's come right back for Circuit A. All right, and we're back. Now that we've had a nice sip of water, let's go ahead and get right into Circuit A. Again, this is based on the 4 fundamental human movements. We'll go through it twice, take a break, and then it's Circuit B. So first up, for that lunging movement, we can grab onto those free weights if you'd like, or you're welcome to do this with your body weight. We're going to start with some lunges. So stepping forward nice and wide, and we're gonna drop that opposite leg down, pressing through those heels to come up, and that's 1 rep. I like to switch legs, alternating. So then I'll do the next one and come back up, and that's 1 rep on that side. All right, 5 seconds, and then we're gonna hop into this for 1 minute. All right, let's go. Lunging it out. If you look at my knees, you'll see that I'm allowing my knees to track forward naturally, but they're going in the same direction that my toes are. We don't want any valgus knee, which is where our knee will slide inwards, nice and strong through every part of this movement. And we're halfway there, 30 seconds in, 30 seconds to go. Pressing through all 4 corners of those feet as we come back up from those lunges. And remember, let's do that talk test. We want to keep that intensity at a rate at which we can talk but not sing. Taking a break if we start to go up above that intensity. All right, 5 seconds, our next movement. We're now going to go into our pushing movement for some modified push-ups. So headed down to the floor, setting those weights beside us, placing those hands about shoulder width apart. And you can do them from your knees or your feet. I'm going from my knees today. Dropping down, coming back up, that is 1 rep. Elbows coming out. Bracing baby up and in always. Those belly buttons are coming through. Our spines up and inwards. Dropping it down, taking a break where you need. We already only have 20 seconds left. Worst part's over. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we've done our push. Worst part's over. Let's get into those pulls. So we're going to pitch forward as far as our bodies will allow. We want about a 60-degree angle, screwing those feet into the floor. We're going to go ahead and with 2 hands, row those elbows up to our backs. Just like we're starting a lawnmower, pinching those shoulder blades together at the top of the movement. And as always, we are remembering to breathe, and we are hugging baby up and in, or bringing that imaginary line between our pelvic bones, bracing that up and inwards towards our diaphragm. 5 more seconds of these guys are already almost done. And then last set of circuit A, we're going to do some dumbbell deadlifts. So screwing those feet into the floor. Nice and sturdy, soft bend in those knees. Hugging baby up and in. Let's track those dumbbells down along our shins. Pressing through those glutes, folding back up. That's 1 rep. Really thinking about what the backs of our legs are doing, our glutes are doing. There it is, first time today I'm saying glutes. Really focusing on that great big hinging motion. Pressing through all 4 corners of those feet for some dumbbell deadlifts. And we're bracing baby up and in. And remembering with that pelvis, we're not spilling that water forward. It's staying nice and upright. And 3, 2, 1. All right, that's round 1. Grab that water really quick and we'll do it one more time. All right, we're back for round 2. Let's go ahead and get right into it with some nice deep lunges. Stepping forward nice and wide with that leg. Dropping down with that booty. Coming up, and that's 1 rep. Down and up. Once again, if your space allows, this is a great one to travel around the house. I used to have a neighbor growing up who would lunge around the neighborhood. So pressing through all four corners of those feet and keeping those chests proud. Baby is hugged up and in. And think about what our pelvis is doing. We're not tilting it forward or arching our back. That cup of water that is our pelvis is nice and upright. We're not spilling anything. 5 more seconds. We'll get right into those modified push-ups. All right, let's drop it down. Modified push-ups. Hands about shoulder width apart. Going from your knees or your feet. I'm a little weakling, so I go from my knees, but that doesn't matter. It's form above all else. Dropping it down to those chests to the floor, straightening those arms up. That's 1 rep. "30 more seconds, we're already halfway. Remembering to breathe, taking those breaks if we need. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing yourself right back up. Taking your time on the way up, especially if you're getting dizzy or anything. Feel free to take a break. And we're so close. Let's do those bent over rows. Pitching forward to about 60 degrees. Arms go straight out in front of you. Let's bring those elbows up like we're starting the lawnmower, pinching those shoulder blades together. This is also when you can do one arm at a time if you find it to be a little bit easier. Or we can hold our dumbbell just like this if we want to evenly distribute that weight. And 20 more seconds of this one. And 5, 4, 3, squeezing at the top, 2, 1. Grabbing onto that other weight if you need. Setting up for those deadlifts. Screwing those feet into the floor. Closing the scissors that are our pelvis. Bracing baby up and in. Let's track those weights down along the front of our leg. Squeeze those booties, come right up. That's 1. We really want to tuck those chins. Give yourself a double chin. And we want to look about 6 feet ahead of us on the floor. This helps lengthen that posterior chain. Keeps us from arching our backs. Especially with baby, our bodies naturally let our backs arch. So we want to give ourselves a break. Strengthen that posterior chain. 15 more seconds and we get a break. And we'll be on to circuit B and then a nice cool down. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, moms, go ahead, grab that water. Give yourself a little break. We'll be back for circuit B. All right, we are back. Let's go ahead, get right into circuit B. Our first set is going to be sumo squats with an overhead press. So tracking those feet outwards, those toes are facing out and away. Nice wide stance. Think like a sumo wrestler when they come into the ring. We're going to drop those booties down, and on the way up, pressing those shoulders to the ceiling. And that's 1 rep. Giving it a try, making sure to drop that booty right behind us, and watching those knees, they're tracking in the same direction as those toes. Squeezing right up, pressing to the ceiling. And now let's pump it out. 1 minute of these guys. So this is great because it takes care of 2 of those fundamental human movements, the squat and the push, all in one. And since when do any movements of our life only do one thing? So it's great to throw things together. 30 more seconds. "20 more seconds of these guys, we're almost there. If you start to feel the burn a little too much, Feel free to just squat it out. And 10 more seconds of these, guys. All right, there we go. Next one. We're gonna go ahead, set those dumbbells down, grabbing onto that band. Let's hold it a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Planting those feet nice and square. Soft bend in those knees. Let's pull that band apart, bring it to our chest. Band pull aparts. These are one of those sneaky movements that look really easy, but are amazing for training that upper back, counteracting that natural kind of inward movements that happen with parenthood. 20 more seconds of these, guys. We're almost there. Remembering we're holding baby up and in always. Bracing with our feet. Chests are staying proud. And those cups of water that are our pelvis, we're keeping them nice and upright. 5 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Dropping down those bands. Let's set those aside. Last movement, because we had that compound of this circuit, we're going to do some single leg deadlifts. So if your balance allows, you're welcome to lift this moving leg off the ground. Otherwise, just have a soft pressure on those toes. And we're going to track our hands down that leg, then pressing through all 4 corners of those feet. And that's 1 rep. And for this one, we'll do 30 seconds on one side and then head over to the other. So if your balance allows, you're welcome to travel with this leg. But otherwise, just place as much weight as you can into that working leg. And we're supporting ourselves, kind of using that other foot as a kickstand. All right, 5 seconds, we'll switch sides. All right, switching sides. Other foot goes forward. Bracing ourselves with the non-working foot. Tracking those hands down along those quads, along those shins. "30 seconds of these, then we'll take a break and we'll do it all over again. All right, moms, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set those weights down. Grab that water bottle. Let's take a quick break and then we'll do the circuit one more time. All right, now that we're nice and hydrated, let's do it one more time before our core and cool down. Grabbing those weights. Bring them right up, shoulders back and down. We're hugging baby up and in. Track those feet outwards, nice wide power stance. Dropping it down, squat to overhead press. Keeping those shoulders down and away from our ears. And pressing with all our might through all 4 corners of our feet. I like to imagine I'm pressing the floor away from myself. Not so much I'm bringing myself back up, but I'm pushing the floor away. Already we only have 15 more seconds. It's flying by. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop them down. Let's grab those bands. Taking those bands, finding that comfy resistance based on distance, and go ahead, pull them apart, bring them right across your sternum. Strengthening those lat muscles, helping with that postural alignment, which can get a little wacky during pregnancy. Bring it down and out. Bracing those shoulders. Imagine that you have $1 million check in between those shoulder blades. And remember, soft bend in those knees. If anyone's ever seen those videos of like choir kids passing out or bridesmaids passing out, it's usually because they've locked out their knees. And 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead, set those bands down. Single leg deadlifts. This time I'm going to show you from the front. So let's start on that left leg. Screwing it into the floor. We're going to use the right as a little kickstand on the ball of our foot. Hands go down, tracking along those shins. Press through all 4 corners of our foot. Coming right back up. That's 1 rep. And watch my chin. Remember, we're doing that double chin. Looking at the floor, 6 feet in front of us. And those shoulders are down and away from our shoulders. Life can get stressful and it likes to pull our shoulders up. So we need to train them to stay down and away from those ears. And 3, 2, 1. Let's switch sides. Right foot comes in front, screwing that leg into the floor. Left foot is a kickstand, tracking down and along the front of our legs. Some prime double chin shots here as I come up. Really pressing forward and through. And 3, 2, 1. And there we go, moms. That is the end of working circuit B. Let's grab some water and then we'll do our core and our cool down. All right, we are there. It's time for a little core and cool down. Let's get right down on those mats. Leaning forward. Palms are going to be about shoulder width apart. Same with our knees, about hip width apart. Finding that neutral spine. So we're hugging baby up and in. That belly button is coming up and in towards our spine. And we're going to do a little thing I like to call fire hydrants. So we're going to take our left leg, keeping ourselves nice and square. And just like it sounds like a dog on a fire hydrant, we're going to open it up and close it down. And we'll do 30 of these on each side, strengthening those glutes, strengthening that posterior chain. And we're keeping that spine nice and neutral, combating that lordotic curve that can happen as you navigate pregnancy. All right, and 4 more, we'll switch sides. All right, switching sides, other side, opening up, squeezing those glute medius, those glute max. Have a drink of water every time I say glute, and you'll never be dehydrated. Opening them right up. All right, now let's go ahead. I'm gonna have to scoot forward on my mat a little bit. And just like last time, we're gonna do some donkey kicks now, working those glutes, working that core, bracing baby up and in. We're gonna kick straight back, driving with that heel. Nice donkey kicks. And really try and keep those hips square to the floor. We're not opening up, keeping it nice and square. And 3, 2, 1. Let's drop that foot down, switching sides. Donkey kicks out, driving that heel outward. And on that extension, we're feeling a nice squeeze in those glutes and those booties. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's drop those knees down. Just like in our warm-ups, we're going to do some cat-cows, working on those transverse abdominals. So hugging baby up and in, rounding that back, bringing our belly buttons in towards our spine, Then letting it go, dropping it down. One more time, breathe in. Baby comes up and in. Exhale, drop it down. One more time, breathing up and in. Exhale, drop her down. Last one, up and in. And drop her down. Let's bring ourselves up and over. So bringing that front leg up. Our shin is parallel to the top of our mat. Leaning forward for our pigeon pose. Stretching out those glutes. And remember, no pain and no bouncing in any stretch. I'm not here to cause you pain. Switching sides. Already dropping her down. Bringing ourselves to the center of the mat. Let's stick that left leg out in front of us. Flexing that foot as hard as we can. And see if you can reach those toes, stretching out that hamstring. Bring ourselves back to center. Switching sides, right leg goes out. Stretching that foot, flexing it to stretch out that calf as well. And bring ourselves back to center. Let's go ahead, take that right hand, hugging it across our bodies. And dropping her down. Switching sides, left goes across, hugging it to our body. Dropping her right down. Let's take that left ear, bringing it to our left shoulder, like we're holding a phone. Yourselves back up to center, switching sides, right ear to right shoulder. And on the next inhale, bring yourself back up. And very, very gently, I want you to take that right hand, bring it up and behind you, stretching out those triceps. And dropping it down, switching sides. And our final stretch of the day, let's link those hands in behind our back. Open up that chest, dropping those shoulders away from our ears. And one last time with me, moms, let's reach right on up. Breathing in, pressing those hands through to the ceiling. Exhale, drop it down. All right, moms, go grab that water. You've earned it. Have a nice rest, and we'll see you next time.